And we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. And joining me live, my co-host, my brother from another mother, all the way from the north part of Florida. That's my
No,
friend,
no, Rob. It's too cold up to the north side.
Mr. James T. Whoa, James T. How you doing, brother? You looking good, man. You looking like you slim and trim. And hey, man, we've been gone, right? We ain't been on for 2 weeks, right?
But Rob, let's let everybody know we've been gathering information. We've been working. We weren't just off partying, and playing around. We've got, we're learning more, and we're earning more, and we're giving more. So hey, man, happy holidays to you and your family, brother. And we had to come back on before Christmas just to let the listeners and the viewers know that understanding money is still going to be, hey, the thought that they should keep in their mind throughout this entire next year.
Especially next year.
Changes are coming, Robert, but changes does not have to mean that you're not going to do better than you've ever done before.
Yes. There is definitely big changes, like we never even dreamt of going to be happening. It's going to be happening. I'm it's exciting, man. It's better than HBO, James. I tell you.
Yeah. Hey, get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. This is going to be big fun.
Get ready for the headlines.
Right. I was talking with some people last evening, from different parts of the country, even from Canada. There were some people that were down at an event last evening, and everybody I spoke with, everybody had not one negative thing to say. And it was amazing to me because most of the conversations are, oh my goodness, oh wow, oh no, people were really being positive, and particularly those who were looking for opportunities.
Okay.
Because
you saying being positive, just being positive about life,
right? Right, Rob, we've been here before. For instance, most people would say, no, not with this, not with that. No. Hey, this cycle keeps going round and round, and you talk often about two things: time and change. That's going to always be. And that's the thing that we should look at. What time is it? What changes are being made? And what are going to be the opportunities that we're going to get based on time and change?
Yes, and a lot of that's going to take place. It's 5 more days before Christmas, but I tell you, I hope people are not overspending, because you're going to need that money come next year, boy.
Come
You're going
on.
to need it, because there's going to be changes with the interest rates. Even though they cut interest rates half a point, mortgages still went up. The rates went up. That's amazing how they do what they want to do in terms of the business world. They just lowered interest rates and the mortgage rates went up. Isn't that something? But hey, some exciting news. Some people can feel a little comfort, a little ease for this Christmas, because the Senate passed the bill to avoid the government shutdown last night. I would say this morning, because it was after midnight, and they passed the bill to so the government won't be shut down, which is really going to ruin a lot of people's Christmases. It's going to have a profound effect. But they still have not, even though they passed the bill to not have the government shut down until March of 2025. So it kind of kicked the can on down the road. But the thing is that the President-elect Trump says that he want to do away with all this budget deficit talk and all that stuff, and having a debt ceiling. I mean, he wants to do away with that, and that's kind of counter to a lot of Republicans' belief in terms of spending. Democrats spend. And Trump says, hey, to hell with that, open a checkbook. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of oxymoron what's going to happen. I say this thing is better than HBO, man. Some people leaving the country. Some people depressed. I ain't. I'm staying tuned, man, because I got to watch this up close.
Come on, Rob.
This is something. Hey, only in a lifetime. You know what I mean?
but what it's going to do most of all is to change the mindset of a lot of people. We've been talking for the last 6-7 months about people planning to retire. You know, I forget the guy's name when he was 80 some years old, and they were having his birthday party, and he was asked, was he going to retire? And he said, "No, I'm going to refire." Retire? He said, "I'm going to refire." So the excitement is, Rob, for those who are preparing to retire, maybe they should think about that. If opportunities are available with the company that you're with. But if not, what has been your thoughts? What has been your vision? What has been your dream? Because Rob, like, hey man, as you said, for the past 2 weeks, hey, we've been doing things we haven't done before. We've been, hey, we as they say, we've been tripping, but not like what the young people say tripping was.
Yeah. We've been out of the state and traveling and
Yeah,
looking and
yeah,
investing and getting wiser and learning. So we've been gone for 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're excited to be back here now. We've been in the cold weather too. So, a lot of times you got to go out of your square, so to speak. You got to go out of your comfort zone and go somewhere else to find better opportunities. And I don't want you ever to be afraid to do that. Make the world your home, and ideas and situations and investment tools, investment opportunities are all over everywhere. You just have to open your eyes and be able to look at it. I uh I definitely want everybody to be prepared and get prepared for what's coming like no other. We haven't seen what is about to take place starting January to 2025. Um, I do feel good because I feel like I'm protected. And the reason why I feel like that, if and you should feel good too, if you're doing the right thing, then good is going to come to you. But if you're doing the wrong thing, if you're being naughty, if you're being mischievous, so to speak, if you're conning and conniving, and time is not on your side. I always said time, Time, and James T is correct. That's one of my favorite subjects I like to talk about because it is misunderstood just how valuable time and how important time is. People say money is, but time is on top of money because you can have money, lose money. If you have enough time, you can get it back. See, there's that time. But if you don't have enough time, then that's it. I mean, you often see sporting events when the team that's behind is coming
clock
back,
runs
but
out.
they ran out of time. You know what I mean? I mean, you getting ready to do something. Guy was going to marry her, but he died. He ran out of time. It's time is TIM is very, very TIME. It's we don't focus on that much. Like I always say, if I was king, I would require education process for everyone to demonstrate the understanding and the comprehension of time, and do essays and explain to me before you can graduate or even before you can get a job the meaning of time, how valuable time is. That's what I definitely would require as a prerequisite for going to the next level, understanding how to use your time.
And Robert, one of the things that we have to take time to do is to plan, you know, with that timing, knowing
Yes.
that time is going to continue, knowing that change is going to come. But what's your plan? Because you
Yes.
can always adjust the plan. But if you have no plan, what what are you adjusting? No, you're going with what someone said, what someone else thought, how you feel, rather than wait a minute, and what am I learning? I was speaking with someone the other. No, I was watching someone, and I went, whoa, when I heard what they said about continuous growth in learning, continuous growth in learning through learning. Come on, man. And that's biblical. If you want to know where to go to get it, go to Second Peter. In the Bible for those who study that Bible, and there's continuous growth through learning. And Second Peter will tell you what you should be learning more of. But Rob, I appreciate you so much. And for those of you just joining us, it is the Henderson Financial Group, and we do this program out of love and care. And we too. I mean, oh my goodness, the last 2 weeks, I've learned more than I knew. and I look at it every day. And I'll call and I'll say, hey, Rob, what do you think about this? Rob, Antonio, what about this? And other people are calling and asking those questions. Ask the questions. So as a matter of fact, for those joining us or whatever, hey, questions, comments, ask the questions, whatever you think that you might need to know. And the day after the election, everybody was calling me, Rob, saying, talk me down.
I know, man. It's that time. You bring up, you remind me of. I had a gentleman that called me last week, and he said, Henderson. He said he was tired of having his money in the bank because he wasn't paying him nothing, and he said that he wants to be able to get stock market returns. He want to get more return, but he said he didn't want any risk, and he said that he didn't want to lose no money. So I told him about cash value life insurance, index universal life. And he said, oh man, that takes too long. So I want to have a discussion about that because what he brought up, the points that he brought up, he's not the only one.
No.
The average person wants that. They want better returns. They want better interest, better dividends than what the bank could give them. Because everybody know, the bank just ripped you off, basically. What I mean by that, they have somehow Jedi mind us to thinking that since we were little tots and little kids, and you start learning about financial literacy, that bank is a savings account. You save your money in banks. But if they really tell it for really what it is, you lend your money to a bank. That's why they pay you interest. We all lend our money to the bank, and we lend it freely. The bank don't even ask us to please lend me your money. The bank don't. They just put up a nice building and put up a nice sign and tell you how much they're gonna pay you in interest if you save your money with them. But really, you're lending them the money. I want you to really look at it for what it is. So most people want more than they put in $10,000 and get 29 cents a month interest. Because you can go to Costco and get 48 bottles of water for under $4 and get 48 bottles, and it costs you under $4. And you can take each bottle and go out in the intersection or at a ballpark and sell each of them for $1 and get $48. So you invested $4 and you got $48. Wayne, that's a hell of a return. You know what I mean? But if you put the same, $4 in the bank, they'll charge you $50 a month. Okay, but anyway, all right. So a lot of people say they want to make more money off their money, but they are afraid, and rightfully so. They're afraid because they really don't understand this whole stock market, up and down, Dow Jones, mutual funds, ETF. It could be pretty complex for the average person, especially if you're not just focused on that, and rightfully so. So most people do want better returns when they save and invest their money, but they don't know how. So I was telling this guy, listen, there's a way that you can get stock market returns and have absolutely no risk. I said, we take it through the back door. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, there is a life insurance strategy. There's a policy, not all of them. See, you have some life insurance where you buy a life insurance policy, you die, they pay your family, you can get burial and all that kind of stuff, final expenses. We're not talking about that. There's different types of life insurances, just like there's different type of products out there. So life insurance company, an insurance company just don't have one product. They have different things for different people, for different situations. So, but we have been programmed to believe that when you say life insurance, they need to change that name. When they say life insurance, it's just for death and dying, but it's not. That's the first grade version. The higher education version is you can actually put money inside of a life insurance policy and get stock market gains. How? Because when you put a certain amount of money inside of a life insurance policy, like a cash value, I'm not talking about a variable life insurance that go up and down. I'm saying like an index. You can actually put money inside of a life insurance policy, more than the life insurance death benefit. So let's just say if you want to get $100,000 life insurance policy in case you die, $100,000 go to your family. That may cost you, depends on how old you are. Let's say you're 50 years old. That may cost you, $1,000 a year for that. But $1,000, but if you die, your family get $100,000 tax free. Okay, so that's the life part of it. So you put in $1,000. So then, but once you open that, you can put in $5,000. So 1,000 is going to pay for the death part of it, the death insurance for the 100,000. But what happens to the other 4,000? That goes into a savings account for you. And that savings account, when you put it into not a whole life, but if you put it into an index, that $4,000 will get stock market returns. It depends if it's S&P 500. Let's say the S&P 500 for the year goes up 9%. And then the cap on that, the insurance company said, we're going to give you 9%. So you put in 5,000, 1,000 went for the death. We know that. That's life insurance in case you die. But what happens to the savings of 4,000? The 4,000 goes into a savings account, another little bucket that it gets whatever the stock market gets. So stock market gets 9%, it'll get 9% for the year. And it doesn't float like that. They give it to you at the end of the year. Okay, not monthly, not daily, but at the end of the year. You could say monthly, daily, but I always say point to point, from 1 point to 1 point. So let's say it went stock market, S&P 500 went up 9%. Your 4% will get 9%. Yes. So now you're getting better 9% than what you would be getting in the savings account at the bank. Okay. And on top of that, since you remember you do have a life insurance policy, not only do you have the savings and you have access to that savings also, when you leave it there, it continues to grow. And there are no taxes every year. You don't have to pay any taxes. It continues to grow. And we liken that like a Roth. Oh, it just grows. Similar, because you don't pay any taxes. And then you could say, well, okay, $1,000 of that going to the death benefit for life insurance part. Okay, we got that. But I want to put in $10,000 a year. You can. And then it can also get stock market gains. Now, the good thing about it is, what I like about it, how you cannot lose any money, because when I say it gets stock market gains, it's not in the stock market. Oh, no. It's like a spectator watching a football game. You're not in the game. You're in the stands. You can't get hurt. That's good stuff. So now you protect it. And if the stock market crash, guess what? Your money don't crash. Because it's not in the stock market. It just get whatever it gets at the end of the year, whatever return it receives, that's what you're credited with. That's some good stuff, James.
Rob, I had this conversation for about 2 minutes with a father and a son last evening. I told him, I said, you need to check out the Henderson Financial Group. I said, you need to plan, because the son seems to be, maybe he, I was telling him, and I'm going to ask you to please explain even greater, when you are parenting and you do have young children, how you can use that as well for quote unquote wealth, legacy wealth, and preparing. And you talk about that often as well, because often when we think about life insurance, we only think about it for, putting it on us. Yeah. Okay. So, and I literally, when you brought this up, I literally text him today's program so that he can hear this, and so that he can be encouraged to say, wait a minute, I don't need to just do what I think I should do. I should contact the Henderson Financial Group and have an opportunity to plan, because we can hear something and we walk out there, and you can go to Waze, and all of a sudden Waze says, in order to get to Miami, hey, here's what you do, James. You get 441, go south, hey, and all of a sudden you jump up on the turnpike and it's shut down. Well, if you don't have the expertise of knowing that, well, wait, maybe I should get off at the next exit, and then what road will I take to make up the time that I'm going to lose sitting here for 3 or 4 hours, in a shutdown. So I mean, I know it may go over a lot of people's head, but when you are planning, I think a part of the planning is getting expertise.
Well, see, yeah, you're right. You're 100%. And most people try to lean on their own understanding. They try to figure out their own. It's always you always want someone to explain to you and break it down to you like a 6-year-old. So an example I just gave, I use those examples. You got a 50-year-old, he wants $100,000 death benefit, but he don't just want to put money inside of a policy that he ain't gonna benefit for. Because a lot of people say, they like life insurance, but what are they gonna get when they dead? No. So here's a strategy: when you do an index universal life, you can pay, let's say, for $100,000 or $500,000 or even $1 million policy. You can name the policy how much you want to cover, and they'll tell you. The insurance company will tell you, well, how much based on your age and your health. Just for the insurance part, it costs this amount.
This amount.
This amount. They'll specify that, and then now you have the right to overfund it. Now you could put more money. Take care of the insurance part for the protection in case you die, because all of us going to die. What's going to be guaranteed to come to your loved ones, your beneficiary, tax-free. So you handle that business first. Then you say, okay, now what about while I'm alive? What's the component of this insurance policy while I'm alive? Okay, so now if it costs, in this example, if you want to buy a $100,000 policy, the death part is $1,000. Now, okay, that's when I die. Now, what about my savings and I want to use this policy while I'm alive? Okay, so now you can put in $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, whatever you want to, okay, above the $1,000, and you can save that. And while you saving it, you can take advantage of stock market gains. If the stock market crash, you get zero, so you don't lose nothing. But the stock market 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%, you get that, and that goes at the end of the year. They credit that to the amount of money you overfunded over and above the cost of the death life insurance. You follow me? So if you put in this case, a guy says he want to put $1,000 in to cover the death part. He want to put $4,000 in. So that's $4,000 as a savings. So now the market goes up. Now it's up 9%. They credit him 9%. So now he has 9% on his 4,000. That's better. And he ain't taking no risk. He don't have to look every day at the stock market and see what happened. He don't have to worry about what happened in the Middle East. He don't have to worry about what happened in the world, the war and all that, Russia, Ukraine. He don't have to worry about any of that because his money is protected. So now he only has death. Not only he has death coverage, but he also have a savings. So he has that. Now, so I explained this to the guy, and the guy said, man, I like that, Henderson. But I said, there's always trade-offs in life. That plan, I have that plan for myself. Everybody in my office have that plan for myself because it is a way to get stock market gains without taking stock market risk. And we have control, we have use of the money, and we have liquidity. Okay, so we like that. Okay, it's not, we won't have to leave it in there for, until we fit it out in half. It's so a lot of young people that are taking advantage of that understand it as I explain it to them. Okay, all my grandkids, all 4 of them have that type of plan. I have the death benefit because they're younger, it's even cheaper, and then I overfund it for a savings and I put it in there. And then the good thing about it, any money that goes in there doesn't count against their FAFSA grants, anything. It's like they're poor. I can stack a lot of money in there. Okay,
That's bro. That is now what you just said. That is a key when you have the plan. When you have an analyst that says, hey, you've got that 12-year-old, because most people probably don't even think about putting a policy on a 12-year-old or 6-year-old or 8-year-old
because they put more emphasis on putting a policy death benefit.
Yeah,
and
which is
really,
not the case.
You don't really, you're not, when you do this strategy, it's not really designed. Your main focus is not to put death or life insurance on a 10-year-old. You never know what happens, but you want to take advantage and get them a policy early. So now when they get older, 50 years old, they got it when they was 10. So it's very cheap. The cost of it is cheap. At the same time, you can put a savings in it that's going to grow more and give more benefit than a savings account. Now, the trade-off here is this guy, I was talking to him. He said, how long I got to wait? I said, well, listen, they always time, T-I-M-E. People want to know because most people want to get rich instantly. And the poorer you are, the faster you want to go. The poorer you are, the faster you want to hurry and get some money. That's why a lot of people who are not so smart get ripped off because they're trying to get money quick. Let me be the first to tell you you've never heard this. Becoming wealthy is a slow process. I want to tell you that again. If your goal is to become wealthy, get ready to take your time. And James, I think me and you and Linda talked about this a while before. Wealth comes slowly. Wealth don't come fast. I'm not talking about rich now. I'm saying wealth. Rich, you can go do the lotto. You can be rich today and poor tomorrow. I know a lot of drug dealers that were rich. They either dead or they're in jail and they ain't got nothing. Rich, you know, a lot of athletes who are rich. They signed a $5-10 million contract, $20 million contract, $600 million. They made $100 million. So now they're a PE teacher at the high school or elementary school. So that's not wealth. Wealth is like fine wine. Wealth is like an oak tree, deeply rooted. Wealth is Coca-Cola wealth, Walmart wealth. Wealth is akin to nature. Nature takes its time. You know, when you understand how to build wealth, that you understand time, TIM, it's okay. Because, you know, the thing about it is none of us can stop time. I don't care who you are. It's going to do its thing. Time. We getting old. You know what I mean? Look at, I'm 66 years old. Jeez, I still feel like I'm 17. You know what I mean, and we couldn't do anything about it, and you can't stop it. So wealth, that's what you want to get on to. And you need about 20 years for it to really bloom. Now, the trade-off on any life insurance, I want you guys to understand this. I just had a thought because I thought about pensions. If you want to get a pension, that means you work for 20, 30 years for a company, and now you don't have to work anymore, and they're going to pay you a pension. You work for FP&L or Florida Power and Light, or if you play Florida FRS, you've been working 20, 30 years, you see? Yeah, and then they give you a pension, meaning that they're going to pay you every month for the rest of your life. That's 20, 30 years, you know? Social Security, y'all put in Social Security. You can't get the money right now, even though you put in. You got to wait till you're 62 years old, and here you are 30. You can't get it until you're 62. You're 30 years old, and you're still paying the Social Security right now. That means you got 32 years just to be able to get the minimum Social Security. See there? Wealth goes, again, I'm giving you a demonstration. I'm backing what I'm saying. I'm backing it up with facts. If you don't believe me, just look at that. It takes time. So the trade-off with any insurance product, when you talk about an index universal life, the one that I'm talking about that's so powerful and that's so good that I absolutely love it, you got to be prepared to wait minimum 10 years for that thing to really come out of the ground. If you try to take it out before 10 years, it's like boiling some eggs. And before the egg can really get boiled, you done stopped and ate it. You go, ooh, that ain't going to be, it ain't even fully boiled. How messy can that be? Can you imagine cooking a cake and taking it out the oven before it rises? If you try to get into any insurance product and try to close it or stop it before 10 years, that's like jumping out of the airplane. So some people, you'll start them off and you'll say, okay, we're going to do this plan. And halfway through the plan, they go, I don't want to do this no more. And you say, no, you started it. That's like you going up into the airplane now, and the airplane done took off and it's 30,000 feet in the air. You tell me, I want to get off. And you open the door. No, you're going to get hurt. These are wealth building strategies. When you get an annuity, and if it's a 10-year annuity, damn it, you better stay in there for 10 years. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. But when you do that, you're going to be so rewarded. Why do they take 10 years to really come out of the, really give you that bang? Because that's the trade-off. How bad do you want it? Everything in life, and y'all know it. Look at your own life. Everything worth having, knowledge, everything took time. It took time. But the time went by. I mean, some of y'all out of high school now, but that was 12 years. If in the beginning they told you, hey, you're in the first grade, you're gonna do 12 years, you say, nah, I ain't gonna do no 12 years. But you didn't have a choice. They had you go to school, and some people didn't do 12 years, dropped out. But it takes time. But that time goes by. Life is about time, mastering time, understanding time. If you get into an annuity, and if it's a 10-year annuity, damn it, you better stay in there for 10 years if you want to get the max out. You're going to be happy you did. If you get into a life insurance product, cash value life insurance, it's expensive if you try to get out before 10 years. The cost of it is expensive. But after 10 years, that cost drops off. And in the rest of your life, that thing is smooth sailing. It can be cheaper than having your money invested in the stock market and having a manager, an investment advisor, manage your money and the fees they're going to charge you. I'm telling you, I've done the math. I've looked at it. But the trade-off, you got to be able to do at least 10 years. And some people can't. Some people say, no. See, you can tell where you are in consciousness. Anytime somebody tell you that this plan ain't going to take 10 years, if you say, no, I can't do it, then you're immature. You're not ready. Because the government, the mob, the mafia, corporations, they all plan 10, 20 years in advance. All of them do. General Motors, Chrysler, all of them, Tesla, they all got models 5 and 10 years from now that you ain't even seen. Even the movie theater right now, you think the movies that's coming out Christmas, they've been doing them they've been working on them for 3, 4, 5 years. They're coming out this Christmas. When you don't understand how to work in the silence, in the invisible, and let time, you'll always be a day late and a dollar short. That's why you can't get ahead, because you understand. Let the church say amen.
Amen. Rob, and as I think, what are you getting your children for Christmas? Think about it, Rob. What if everybody just decided, wait a minute, I'm going to look into this.
And James, you know what? It's so good. Guess what? Everybody can't get it.
Well, hey, that's why. What did the scripture say? There will always be the poor among us.
That's right. And James, what I just talk about, getting a cash value IUL, everybody can't get it. Wow. You know why everybody can't get it? Because you got to qualify for it. How do you qualify? Well, you can't be almost dead, because remember, it's an insurance company. You got to be healthy. Now, okay, you could have high pressure, because you could have high blood pressure, because half the country got high blood pressure as long as you're taking your medication. You could have diabetes as long as you're taking medication. You could have high cholesterol as long as you're taking medication. If you had cancer, it had to be at least 5 years ago. But you have to be basically somewhat healthy. They're not going to let people on their deathbed and they got 6 months to live invest in the IUL, because they know that the insurance company's got to pay all this money out because the people are going to die. You have to have a good chance of living for the next 10 years or so. If you're that, then you can qualify for this plan. So everybody can get this. So while you can get it, you want to get it. Oftentimes, James, a lot of people, when they're younger, they don't get it. But when they get 70, 80 years old, they go, oh, Lord, I need this. But it could be too late.
Too late.
Because the health is not good. Isn't that something?
Too late. But Rob, when we started the program today, that was why we talked about time and change. Sometimes what we need to do is to change. Going right back, hey, that book is not a religious book. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Here's an opportunity, folks, for a renewed mind. And even if it's not for you, guess what? Help somebody. Hey, talk to, I talk to my children all the time, and I'm not yelling, and I'm not really telling them what to do, but I'm sharing with them so that at some point, hopefully, it'll come poof, And, they can do it even behind my well, I'm not gonna let daddy know that I'm doing this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see if this works. And all of a sudden, you'll find yourself in a position whereas not only, quote unquote, have you created wealth for yourself, but you've got legacy wealth. Come on, man. Hey, Rob, the acquisition of stuff and money and all of these things, you know, if we are going to be leaving here, and we are, you know, my goodness, it has to be set up where others can benefit from it. And then they should do likewise, hopefully, because
Yes.
what you just shared, man, could most of our well, particularly our young kids, they're not looking at time, they're looking at today. And today, what am I going to get for Christmas? And believe me, there's some adults that are thinking the same way. I'm going to get me that. What do they call this wagon? Somebody,
G Wagon.
yeah, this G wagon. Hey, Rob, I'm gonna put down 50,000, and I'm gonna get me a G wagon. You know what I'm saying?
I know
Gee.
it's just it's spending. It's not saying they're going to invest. I've been hearing a lot of chatter. People are so excited about this new next administration, and they have a lot of people, even a lot of black people too. A lot of all kind of races that's saying that this Trump administration is going to be like a gold rush because cryptocurrency and investments, and it's going to be time to get rich while Trump is in office. But let me remind you guys of something. In my 40 years of being in the financial services business, I've never seen anything exact. I've never seen anything predicted exact. That's why they call it a surprise. I've never seen what was supposed to happen. I want to say it again. When the masses and the majority think something is going to happen like this, it usually happens like that. I want to say it again. So many people saying Trump is going to come into office and going to make them rich and everything is going to be happy. I've never seen, whether it's Trump or anybody, I've never seen when the crowd was going for something, it turned out that way. In fact, rich people get rich during the time of turmoil, when all hell is breaking loose. That's when you get the bargains. Rich people don't get rich when everybody else getting rich. How can there be separation then? If my neighborhood is a rich neighborhood and everybody can coming forward in my neighborhood, my neighborhood ain't that no more. Wealth comes in scarcity. Value comes in scarcity. If everybody doing it, it ain't nothing. When it's rare, that's why out of 100% of the people that's on the planet, 95% of the people are poor and just getting by. Only the 5%, there you go again. It's always the small. It's not the majority. If you thinking like the majority, you always lose. Because the majority has not proven that's the way to go. If everybody's saying, do this, I promise you, you better do that. Warren Buffett tells you all the time. Let me tell you something. Rich people don't make their money when everybody making their money. No. When all hell is breaking loose and it seems like it's just man just barely making it, that's when the wealthy people buy stuff. They buy it low. They buy value. And then when it come back up, that's how do you make the money. You don't make the money by buying high. So do you actually think that the market and everything else supposed to just kick butt tomorrow? And listen, especially the cryptocurrency. Let me tell you something. And it looks like, okay, Elon Musk, it looks like Trump, they're putting people in line for. Do you actually think that this system is set up to let little Bobo and little Lolo get rich off cryptocurrency? And everybody, no. It will go up and it will crash down. And then when you get ready, when you start selling and start going down lower, they would buy it. They always like to buy it when you're scared. When you're scared and you fearful, that's when they buy. But they got to shake the trees. They got to make it so. Elon Musk already told you that once Trump get in office and they start cutting back, it's going to be painful for the country. It's going to be painful. And if you just buying all this stuff and you ain't got no reserves and ain't got no money, you're going to be in, boy, you're going to be on a pole somewhere. You're going to be trying to do whatever you could do to try to get some money. And stuff going to be cheap for people who have money. Always go opposite of what the masses are saying and doing. Think for a second. All you got to do is look at the past, look at history. Always. Listen, in 2008, when real estate stock market crashed, most people was trying to survive. But the rich was getting richer because they was buying. I remember we bought Royal Caribbean, the cruise line, because back in 2020, people wasn't going on no cruise. We bought Royal Caribbean. We bought Carnival. I think we bought Carnival at $6 a share. I think it's at $28 a share now. That was 2020. Royal Caribbean, nobody wasn't cruising. It's at an all-time high right now. But back then, nobody wasn't buying Royal Caribbean. I'm telling you, whatever the masses do the opposite. Everybody talking about they're getting ready to get cryptocurrency. I'm telling some. I think they may take it up, and when y'all get in, they're going to drop that shit. Watch me now. Watch me. And when they drop it, they're going to be buying it.
hey, Rob, because everybody else going to be trying to.
That's right.
Get rid of this. I don't want to lose no more money.
I'm telling you, man. Because they do it to the stock market all the time. The stock market be going up. Everybody, they barber, the Willie Oil Can man talking about stocks and all that. They're like, okay, they keep an indication on that. And then they say, oh man, the neighborhood changing. Everybody getting rich. We don't want that. Everybody can afford Mercedes Benz. Oh, we don't want that. Then they drop that shit. And you drop it, and then you drop it, and you be like, oh, I sell my shirt, sell everything. They be buying it. That y'all got to get on to this. I'm telling you, that's just the way the system is set up. Now, I'm telling y'all, this little black dude with these glasses, I'm telling you the truth. I can tell y'all because I got a little small crowd. But they'll be after me if I had 100 million followers. Then they'll be so I can tell y'all. I can tell y'all, okay? Because I don't got 100 million followers. So, but y'all tell, right? I don't want them at me because when they come in, woo, Lord, they miss you. Listen, when they come at you, they wish you never heard of money. Mario said, I bought a 3-bedroom house after the crash in Miami for $48,000. No one wanted real estate at the time. See that, Mario? I told you. Nobody wanted real estate. Hey, that's what they're going to do with this market. Nobody say, I don't want none of that stuff. And that's how the rich get richer. Same with crypto. I'm telling you, man. So, but listen. If you understand TIME, you can benefit because you know that time, it ain't gonna stay like that.
Right. But Rob, don't miss this though. They've got to prepare. You got to prepare for it, just like Mario said. Now, if he wasn't prepared, like you, and as you said earlier, it ain't for everybody because you've got to qualify for many of these opportunities. But you've got to be prepared for the opportunities. And the thing that you've got to do is you've got to put away something. Man, if they catch me in a store buying gifts for Christmas, lock me up because I done lost my mind. Rob, even if I wanted to get something for somebody, I'm gonna do it before Christmas or after Christmas or whatever.
It's
Yeah,
better after.
yeah. But I don't even have that mindset. And I'm not trying to be a Scrooge. I'm just saying, man, what are you valuing? What? We put so much value in. Hey, I got to get me something new. Yeah, okay, I gotta get me something new. But guess what, Rob? That thing that I get has to not just look good on me, or not just look good to you when you see me. Yeah, I want something that's going to, as I told a young man the story the other day, I want something that's going to produce of itself. What did Mario say? I bet you that 3 bedroom that he got, I bet you he ain't living in it. And I
No,
bet you
oh no.
the value of it is already up. He can go out right now, Rob, with the value of mine. If he did that, whatever number of years ago, the value of property now it's probably valued at 500,000, 600,000, 4 or 5, depending upon location. Now you can get an equity line of credit, to go out and buy another piece of property or to
Yeah,
invest more in it.
Mario's pretty smart. He plays like not checkers but chess. So he's been a client of ours for a long time. He's pretty well diversified. All the stuff that I talk about, Mario takes advantage of that, and he's seen it. He watched it. He's not just in one area, but he diversifies pretty well. I'm very proud of him. He's a thinker,
Right.
and
Hey,
he knows.
but folks, you
Yeah,
got to be prepared. You got to be prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. And if you don't have anything, the opportunity can come, but you're not prepared. You're unprepared.
yeah. That's what they call luck. Luck is opportunity meets preparation.
Mm.
You have to be there. And there's something about universal law. Let me tell you something. Y'all may not believe this, but I know my daughter Heisha, she like all the stars and retrograde and all this kind of stuff. She likes that. But listen, let me tell you something. Somehow the universe knows if you're saving your money, you're not saving it for naught, but you're saving it. And then you're looking for a good time and a good place and being ready when opportunity presents itself. But if you are spending your money, there's a lot of people who don't have no money, always got ideas, but they ain't got no money. See, when you make one step, the universe makes two. If you start accumulating, you'll start accumulating even more. The more money that you save, the more money that you will earn, That it just goes hand in hand. That's why in the scriptures it says, blessed to the ones that have, for they should have more. And that's something, blessed to the ones that have, for they should have more. Think about that. You're blessed if you have, for you should have more. And some people say, well, how is that? When I ain't had no money, I definitely didn't understand that. I was like, should be blessed to the poor because we ain't got nothing. No.
bless me. Somebody please bless me.
But if you look at that, if you look at the way the world and how the system in the world runs and how the world works, the more you have, the more you get. If you have $1,000 and they're going to pay you 10%, that's $100 extra. If you have $100,000, they're going to pay you 10% too. But your 10% is $10,000 extra. If you have $1 million, they still going to pay you 10% like the other ones. Your 10% is $100,000. So if they said, put your money in this pot and you're going to get 10%. If you only got $10, you're going to get $1 extra. So the more you have, if you got 10 million and you put it in this pot and it says 10% pot, you put 10 million in here, you're going to get $1 million. Just like that one that put $10 in here, got $1. And he going to say, why he got $1 million and I got $1? Because he had more. See? Blessed to the ones that have, for they should have more. That is a universal law. So when you just working and spending all your money on things and stuff that's going to change and fade away and go out of style, you is one fool. I can understand it when you're young, but as you start to get 30 and 40 and 50 and 60, you're supposed to say, okay, I know how this thing works now. I'm not getting ready to buy this stuff like this here that just out of Macy's and Dillard's just came off the rack. I already know that's gonna get old, change, and fade away. I'm gonna wait until it's on the last act, a fast act. My wife, oh Lord, my wife Natalie bought me a shirt that costs $125 for $10. I'm like, how you did this? She said, it got tag on tag. She's a bargain. She don't buy nothing full price, and we could afford it. But she just like the hunt. She like, no. She feels cheated. If I bought my wife a gift, if it wasn't discounted or got it for good, she don't want it. Isn't that something? I didn't make her like that.
Love her.
Listen. I did not make her like that. I promise you. I didn't tell her to be like that. Thank God she like that.
Love her.
Thank God she didn't like that. Thank God she's like that. That's just how she's cut. You can't make a person be who they're not. That's how it is. But whoever you got, love the one you with. That's it. That means it's up to you. You got to do what you got to do, and you have to leave them alone. Let them do what they do, but you have to because everybody who they are. All right, so you have to. Now, my wife Natalie, she may go in the bathroom, and I come in there, and all the drawers are open. She don't like to close drawers, so there's a trade-off. You see what I'm saying? She go in the kitchen, she opens some, she don't close the drawers. See there? There's a trade-off. So ain't nobody perfect. Your wife may close all the drawers when she go in there.
Nobody in my house does it. I walk through my house closing all the doors.
Me too, Jay. I close doors all the time. I'm like, go in the bathroom, all like somebody done came in there and broke in. Sometimes I come home, James. I come through the garage, I go in the kitchen, all the stuff open like somebody was searching for something. I'm like, Lord have mercy. They don't know how to close the doors, but that's the trade-off. That's why nobody's perfect. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My wife may catch sales. She may catch sales. She don't like to spend money, but she don't close doors. All right. So anyway, all right. So today we were talking about, I hope y'all learned something. Today we was talking about this guy called me and he said, man, he wanted stock market returns, but he didn't want to take no risk. And I told him, listen, you can put your money in the index universal life and you can overfund it. And he thought it just was life insurance. No, that's the life insurance part of it, but it's a back door. You see, there's a lot of products. Let me give you an example, because when I talk to y'all, I like to give you an example, a metaphor, so you can back it up. You know, Viagra with that little pink, that little blue pill, that was never an erectile pill. That was really a cardiographical type of pill. That's what it was for. Side effect was an erection. It's the same thing with Ozempic. Ozempic, was designed for diabetes, but people started getting skinny. That's the side effect. You understand what I'm saying? So some things have side effects, and you go, oh, look, we discovered this thing does also. So a cash value life insurance, especially an index IUL, it has a side effect. That thing can really grow cash value. It really can, aside from the death benefit. But you got to be able to qualify for it. Now, if you can't qualify for it, you still can own it, and you can get your daughter, your wife, and put it on them and let them qualify. That's a slick move.
Robert, say that again. I'm telling you that these are the jewels. These are the jewels. Because oftentimes when people say, I can't, well, but you know someone who can.
There's a way you can do it, right? There's a way.
Oh my goodness.
If there's a will, there's a way, James.
Oh, Rob. Literally, I had a conversation last evening. I didn't know this was going to be the topic, but I was just sharing because the young man was working with his dad. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, hey, listen to your dad. I said, make him pay you, but make sure that you put away some of the money you are paid right now and
That's
check
right.
out. I said, can you imagine starting now? Because when you're a child, you feel like you can spend all it is because you're living for the weekend, the next paycheck.
Yeah,
But
time is forever, right?
right. But some people, Rob, never got away from that. Some people never got away from the fact that, no, that's why I work. I work so that I can go out and buy what I want. Really? Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're not work, but after a period of time, your wants are more expensive. And now your earning does not match that. When you live it at home and everybody paying the light bill, the water bill, and everything else, and paying for your car and all of that. Oh yeah, you can spend everything and not worry. But all of a sudden, when it becomes your responsibility, things change. Now
Yes.
I'm not earning enough. But if you didn't make a plan prior to, if no one spoke to you, and if you heard this and did not, quote unquote, change that mind, hey, then as my grandmama used to say, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame
Yeah,
on
you know,
you.
I have some I have some clients that are young, man. They under 30 years old. You know, they make 250,000 dollars a year. I'm happy to say that they're saving more than 20% of their earnings. No, I shouldn't say saving, they're investing
Investing.
more. They're investing in a way that they can't lose. 20%. I mean, you make $200,000. If you could save $40,000 and you young, you on your way a year. Most people, there's a lot of people don't even make $40,000
Are earning that.
earning that. So when you can do that, you really doing something. But a lot of young people get caught up and they start spending every dime. And that's because they caught up with somebody else who's spending every dime. And somebody else who's spending, all their friends are spending every dime and doing the same thing, you know. So it's James, you'll be surprised what you can do if you ask. That's why it's good to come to the Henderson Financial Group and say, listen, this is what I'm trying to do. How and what is the best way to do it? That's what you should be asking. In the new year coming up, you should say, listen, I want to start a financial plan. These are my goals. Tell me what's the best way to do it. But you're going to have a part now. You can't just say, do me, Henderson. Okay, just do me, make me. No. You have to make one step and the universe will make two. You have to come. You have to be a part of something. You can't just say, listen, I just want to not work and I want to give you this money. You just make me all this money. No, because oftentimes there's always trade-offs. I have never seen anything that there wasn't a trade-off. I can't think of anything on the planet that there's not a trade-off. Trade-off meaning that if you're 400 pounds and you want to get to 200 pounds, you got to lay off some of the food. Obviously, you got your diet, your calorie intake has got to reduce. That's simple. It's simple math. If you want to save money, you want to have more money than what you have now, it's simple math. You got to save some and put away so it can grow and be invested so it can make money for your money need to be working for you. If your money is not working for you, then you're a day late and dollar short. And it's only a matter of time where you're going to be really hurting financially. And the longer you live, the more risk you have of running out of money. So you have got to put it in the right investment vehicles. In a safe investment vehicle, so you won't just blow it all. All your money all your retirement money should not be in the stock market. If you retired and all your money is with FRS or NACO or NAT or whatever, and it's in the stock market, you're doing something wrong. You have to diversify. All your money shouldn't be in the stock market. And diversify, I'm not saying you in this fund and that fund and that fund and that fund. That's not, that fund is still in the stock market. You have got to be able to diversify what you have. You have to. If you don't understand, that's why I want you to call 305-825-1444 and we'll educate you. 305-825-1444 because you need education. And you need to know more than you know right now. If you're only leaning on the information that you have between your ears, that's not enough. You have to go higher, so you got to seek help. Call 305-825-1444. You can also go on our website and sign up, and we can set up conference calls and some Zooms. Go to www.the, got to put in thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. It's not too late. You know, James, we have a lot of clients that are over 73 years old, and by the end of the year, they have to take their RMD. That's required minimum distribution. I don't care how much money you got in the retirement accounts. By the time you're 73, the government, whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, they make you take money out of the account. Why do they do that? because they saying you don't roll that horsey long enough, and they ain't got no tax revenue out of it. They need to get some money. So you're gonna take the money. They don't care what you do, but they're gonna send you some money and they want to get their portion. You can do what you want to do with your portion. They don't care. They want their taxes. And you 73 years old. So all our clients that's 73 years old, we have to sell your Apple, or we have to sell your Microsoft, or sell your Google, or whatever, because when you 73, that's how that 401k IRA Trojan horse Jedi mind system sets you up to do. That's why I can't stand it. That's why I don't have it. They make you sell something. You could be having something that's going up, and they go, oh, you 73, you got to sell. Every year you got to do it now. Not just one time, for the rest of your life, because all the tax deductions that they gave you, they getting them all back. They getting it all back. When isn't that something? That's another story. That's another story.
When I got that notice, I said, what? What?
I got to talk about that later on. That's a Jedi mind, and they still Jedi mind and fooling people with them 401ks and IRAs and all that. People think they're getting it right. Oh, tax deduction. Oh, you can put more in. Sucker. They're gonna get you later on. But you didn't know.
Yeah, Rob. Before we go today, there's a couple of things I've got to do. I've got to say a big thank you to you and the staff and your wife and Linda that came out last Sunday.
Yeah, last Sunday, right?
Yeah, the Embrace Girls Foundation honored Jill Tracy, the late Jill Tracy, Missy Bailey, and myself at their holiday
Yeah, it was a beautiful event.
gathering. Okay. And of course, it was sponsored by the Interiors by Stephen G. And of course, Miss Velma Lawrence and her staff. They always do an excellent job, man. And it's just beautiful people coming together. Sellout crowd, Rolls Royce, and I forget.
Stylistics.
Yeah,
Right.
the group was there. But I just want to say, to the listeners and the people who came out to support Embrace first, but also those that joined in recognizing the late Jill Tracy, and of course Miss Missy Bailey and myself, who worked in the community, serving the community. This is just who we are and what we do. And most people would say, how do you benefit? Well, I benefit because God blesses me to have a friend like Robert Henderson, or God blesses my family, or God blesses friends and all of that. So that's the joy that we get out of it. So I just want to say a big thank you. And of course, the Urban Crafts Academy invited us to their luncheon since last we talked. We went to their Christmas luncheon as well with Mr. Bill Dozier and his staff, and they lay it out. And these are people that are really, truly, truly serving our community. And no matter where you are or where you live, that you may hear this message. Hey, make it a plan that this coming year, you're going to support some of these people that are helping others, because we only have the two hands. But if you can join hands with others who are doing great things in the community and support them in any way you can, maybe you can't do it financially, but you can do it by going to some of their events or whatever. However you can, do that. Because as Robert said, hey, things are changing, but it doesn't have to be, woe am I, or I am afraid. Because believe me, I don't care who in office. I'm not afraid. I'm Rob. I'm just not afraid. Hey, if I could put my life on the line to go to, quote unquote, do whatever I had to do, and joining the armed forces to support my family and this country, because it was my family first. Hey, we can do things to help others. So please join us in doing that. And I'm going to tell you that the Henderson Financial Group truly does support others in the community that are helping others in the community. So I want to give you a big ups, Mr. Henderson.
Thank you so much, James. And hey, we need prayer right now, bro. We got to go.
We gotta go. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity. Oh, Lord Jesus, Holy Spirit, we are so blessed, and you have blessed us as many will look at it this year, but we look at it as an opportunity to give of that you have given us. And one of the gifts that you've given Mr. Henderson is the gift of understanding money and helping others to plan and strategize so they too can be a blessing to others. So continue to bless Henderson Financial Group and all of its staff. And for those who have joined us throughout the year, bless their families and just increase their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they will step up and it will be a greater year. They will say that 2025, hey, just did wonders in their lives because they seeked first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all those blessings came upon them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Oh man, thank you so much, Jane. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and Merry Christmas. Be safe. Don't spend too much because remember, Christmas is just one day. Okay, you got to come back and face that. All right, I mean, got to face them bills. So be sharp. Learn something. Learn from last year. Right. Love you. We got to go. Peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and Merry Christmas and Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.